Survival at its core basically means staying alive, whether that means staying alive in an emergency situation or in general life. Whether you need to carry a bug out bag, or whether you need to carry your child out of a burning building, or whether you just want to grow older without growing frail. One of the most important components of that is strength. So you may know that about 3 months ago I started a weight training program kind of based upon the philosophy in a book called Starting Strength. I did a review of that book. I'll put a link to that in the description here below. But I also connected with a certified starting strength coach that happens to live near me, and I had the opportunity to kind of make a quick video and get his take on what the program is, and maybe some information that'll be helpful to use. So if you're interested in getting stronger and learning a very simple, good way to do it, stay tuned. That's what we're going to be talking about next, coming up here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose, your home for information and gear reviews related to camping, survival, and general preparedness for regular folks. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me. So it's getting dark, so I'm going to talk fast. As I said, I started a strength training program using weights, barbells, based upon the philosophy of a book called Starting Strength, written by Mark Rippetoe. I first learned about starting strength from a James Yeager video, and a quote from Mark Rippetoe really got my attention. Sorry, airplane. Was that strong people are harder to kill and generally more useful. I thought that makes pretty good sense. I'm going to look into this. So I got the book. I did a review on the book Starting Strength. I'll put a link to it right up here. But I also hooked up with a certified starting strength coach nearby, and they really helped me get my form down right and everything, or at least improve my form so I could do maybe do a little better. So I did an interview with him. We're going to cut to that in just a minute. Before we do, let me just kind of set it up, tell you a little bit about what starting strength is and a little bit about my personal experience with it. So I've lifted weights about 15 years ago in the gym, very diligently. I was in there like literally 4 or 5 days a week for a couple of hours at a time, doing what I would consider standard bodybuilding type exercises. One day was chest day, and I did 4 or 5 different chest things. Next day would be like, back day, and I did all these different back things, and then leg day, and then this and that, I mean, I'm talking about for like 3 straight years I did this, and I got results. I got stronger, and I got bigger, my muscles got bigger, whatever, but I was sore all the time, and literally, I mean, like, it's almost like a badge of courage to be sore, and just, I didn't see myself getting the results that I wanted. Now, to be completely honest with you, some of the people I was working out with were, they were using artificial enhancement, I'll say that, and I wasn't, so, I was trying to keep up with them, and that wasn't working. But cut to today, so I kind of backed off of that and kind of got busy doing other stuff for several years. Well, I'm 57 years old now, and as you start getting older, things just don't, you start losing strength. I want to be able to keep up with my kids. I'm a scoutmaster. I want a backpack. I started thinking, man, if you got to use what if you have to bug out with a bag or whatever you might do, just life in general, right? And there's that whole strong people are harder to kill thing, right? So I started looking into that, the Starting Strength book and thing, and basically what Starting Strength is, it's a strength training system, if you could call it that, or philosophy, using barbells, and you use 4 or 5 basic lifts. Every day's leg day with Starting Strength, basically. You lift like 3 times a week. You do squats, you do deadlifts, and then you either do bench presses or overhead presses, and they just call them the press. Basically, the press is just this, like what we call military press. And then if you're younger than I am, you might do power cleans, which is you basically snatch the bar up and catch it here, right? Kind of Olympic stuff. They do things a little differently maybe than you might be used to if you're doing squats a certain way or whatever, but there's a reason behind it. So, and the Starting Strength book goes into the biomechanics of the reasoning behind it. You can check that out. I did a video review on that. Just to kind of cut to the chase and give you my stats, and then we'll cut into Steve's interview. By the way, Steve Hill is the Starting Strength coach here in Douglasville, Georgia. So when I started out, I was squatting 85 pounds or 90 pounds. I know that it's very weak. I know it, but that's what I was doing, right? For 3 sets of 5, though, not just for 1, for 3 sets of 5. Last Monday, 2 days ago, I squatted 230 pounds for 3 sets of 5. So I know that's still not very heavy for a lot of people, but for me, that's almost over a 200% increase. I started out pressing like 60 pounds, whatever. I pressed 115 pounds last night. I started out with a deadlift of maybe, I don't know, 195 or 100 pounds. I'm up to like 240 now. My bench press, is up to like 180 now, or 190 or something like that. So the key is you just add a little bit of weight every single time. So that's the whole key to it. It's called a linear progression, and basically whatever weight you can do 3 sets of 5 with, that's fine. Next time you add a little weight. Next time you add a little more weight. Next time you add a little more weight. And the key is to space your workouts out 48 hours apart usually, so you have time to recover. It's not very complicated. It's very simple. It's not a bunch of crazy different exercises you do. You just do the same basic lifts over and over, and you get stinking stronger. I've gotten stronger, and it's measurably stronger because you're measuring it. You're checking it out every time. You don't have to go in the gym and scratch your head and figure out what to do today. You know what you're doing today. You're doing squats, you're doing some kind of press, and you're doing deadlifts, period. And you're getting stronger every time because you're going to do more today than you did the last time. It's amazingly simple, and it amazingly works. I have gained more muscle mass and more strength in 12 weeks, 13 weeks now, than I did in 3 years doing bodybuilding type, isolation type exercises. And that's just the plain basic truth. So I am 100% sold on the whole starting strength thing, and I'm preaching, I know, so, but I'll try to stop. But I'm just telling you, it works. I know there's people say there's this and there's that. That's fine, but I'm telling you, it works for me, and it works for everybody I know that has tried it. So without me rambling a lot more, let me just take you on over to the interview I did with Steve Hill in his basement in his home gym, and we'll come back and wrap this thing up. We're here with Steve Hill, who's a certified starting strength coach. What basically is the starting strength program?
So the starting strength program is actually more about the lifts, not necessarily the programming behind it, like the exercises you do, how many sets and reps. So what we're focused on is proper execution of 5 basic lifts. The squat, king of all lifts, the deadlift, which would probably be the queen, and number 2, the overhead press, or as we call it, the press, and the bench press, which everybody's familiar with because everybody's done it ever since high school, and the power clean. And the power clean's there to, especially in younger trainees, elicit some power response to go with the program and also serve as a complement to deadlift.
As a general, kind of a general overview of the starting strength, we'll call it a system for lack of a better term. The basic foundation is that you have a linear progression, which means that you are loading additional weight every single workout, at least for a certain period of time. And you can chart that linearly and see that each lift is going up at a different rate, maybe, but they're all going up.
So we call that a novice linear progression. It's not really unique to starting strength. Starting strength is really more about how we execute the lifts, right, and the analysis behind that. But the programming part is the underthought part. For a lot of people think that more work is better, or big huge weight jumps, or whatever is better, or do a squat and then do a bunch of partial leg exercises better, and it's not about that. Really, for a beginning lifter, it's about simplicity. And as you're finding out over the 7 weeks, because I know you've called me up and said, Steve, I want to put more weight on the bar, it's about patience, right? Yeah. Because you can overdo or do too much of a good thing and not adapt to it. Come back in the gym the next time, you're actually weaker.
You mean like happened to me?
Yeah, exactly. Put too much weight on the bar, and you're going to be coming back, and you're not going to be able to express that adaptation because you put too much stress on your body to recover from in that time period, and that's what programming is about. It's about looking at the stress that we put on a body, how the body responds to that, recovers, and then 2 days later, 5 days later, 7 days later, elicits an adaptation and shows you couldn't have squatted 185 on Friday, but you squatted 185 today. Right? It's a very simple program. I'm doing the same program you're doing as I work back up in strength. I'm doing exactly the same thing you're doing. And this is the thing. Today, I squatted 3 by 5 at 325. You squatted 3 by 5 at 185. Who's stronger?
You are right now.
It doesn't matter how the bar moved, although we have a specific way of moving the bar, but I am demonstrably stronger. There's more weight on the bar and I moved it. You are demonstrably stronger than you were 7 weeks ago.
Absolutely.
Right? And that's the whole point.
Exactly. I've told a friend of mine this today. He's talking about getting a coach. Find a starting strength coach.
So the way to find a starting strength coach in your area is it's startingstrength.org, O-R-G, is the coach's side of starting strength. And we're all listed on there. Pretty much we blanket the U.S., and I would say it's worth a drive.
Yeah, I would too, definitely. You know, even if you don't have a long-term relationship, at least to get you set up and how to, you know, if it's really far or whatever, it's worth it just to make sure you get started right.
So, if somebody has questions about starting strength or about starting strength coaching, they can reach me online at startingstrength.com. My screen name there is Steve Hill on the forums. Or they can email me, Stephen, S-T-E-P-H-E-N, V, Hill, one word, S-T-E-P-H-E-N-V-H-I-L-L @gmail.com.
Okay. And I'll put links to all the starting strength, I guess the resources below, because in the description of this video, because I really think it's important. I can't tell you how much just the last 7 weeks have really made an impact on my life. I just, not only do I just feel stronger, I feel better.
And that was the first question I asked you when you called me was, how does being stronger, how is that affecting your life? Do you notice a difference? And everybody who I've trained, 7, 8 weeks in, they go, yeah, this thing I used to do that was hard isn't hard anymore.
Well, great, Steve. Thanks for taking time to talk to us.
Sure.
Okay. Well, hopefully that wasn't too whacked out as far as the editing goes. I wanted to kind of you know, let you hear from somebody that really knows about this process. Steve is a smart guy, and he's very, very good. He's really helped me a lot. And I can tell you, if you really want to get stronger and to avoid or at least minimize or slow the debilitating effects of aging. You know, if you want to be able to get out and do things that maybe you don't think you can do right now, and you want to keep going strong as you age, I highly encourage you to check out the Starting Strength book. They have a Starting Strength online coaching, or maybe try to find a Starting Strength coach in your area and just do a couple of sessions. It's going to cost you a little bit of money, but you don't have to keep going every time. Really and truly, it has significantly changed my life already, and I have no doubt that it's going to continue to do so, and going to allow me to be a lot more capable and functional as I age. So that's my little plug for Starting Strength, because I really like it. I really recommend it. So to everybody, old people, young people, men or women, it'll help you be strong and help you be active. And there's so many other benefits to it that we could talk about, but I probably talked enough. So anyway, thanks for watching. I put out a brand new video every Friday and Saturday, and very often random videos throughout the week. You can check out a new one right here. If you're not subscribed, click down in the corner and subscribe. You can learn more about all this stuff. Once again, my name's Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident. So be prepared. I'll see you next time.